Hey guys, if you want to eat with a high protein diet, but you're a bit short on your budget and you want to have cheap sources for your protein, look no further because right here I have some of the cheapest sources of protein which are just low cost and high protein. Yeah, starting off with a breakfast classic, those are oats. And while oats may look like a food that's just high in carbs because it looks like grain, it actually has lots of protein for a super cheap price. At my supermarket, this costs me 69 cents, which is in euros, but it has 13.5 grams of protein on 100 grams. And the whole packaging right here, it has 67.5 grams of protein, and that all for a price of about a few cents. Second off, we have a liquid, which is milk or low-fat milk. Low-fat milk usually has a bit more protein on 100 grams than regular milk. And this one cost me €1.19, and it has about 34 grams of protein. If you buy normal milk and not lactose-free milk, it will usually cost even less, which is even better, right? But since I'm lactose intolerant and I don't really tolerate dairy, I'm going with the lactose-free version. There's also this alternative if you're vegetarian, if you're vegan, you can get a soy drink, soy milk. And some of them, they have really good stats. They have 50 grams of protein in only one container, which also only cost me about €1.15. Next up will be eggs. This package cost me about €2, and all of the eggs inside, 6 eggs, that's about 36 grams of protein. And this is even one of the more expensive ones. You can also get a packaging of this for like €1.40. So it's really cheap for a good amount of protein. Now, next up is one of my favorites. This is also a dairy product, but there's also a lactose-free version if you like that. It's called Skyr. And this thing alone is 500 grams, and on those 500 grams, it's 55 grams of protein, which is really good. And this whole thing only cost me €1.49, which is a great price, right? And what I like about things like the Skyr or also the oats is you can make it into breakfast, and it's super easy to make and super easy to eat. Next up, I want to talk about some meat. And we all know chicken breast, right? Chicken breast is one of the most famous sources of protein when it comes to lean protein that you can eat. And chicken breast is a bit more expensive than this variation. Those are chicken drumsticks. And chicken drumsticks, this is 1 kilogram, and they have about 18 grams of protein on 100 grams. So this whole box is about 180 grams of protein. And do you know how much it cost me? Only €5.49. Of course, you also don't want to buy the most cheapest meat because then it might be full with, I don't know, hormones or whatever. So maybe take a look a bit at where your meat is coming from and how your meat was produced. Next up is a canned food. This is tuna, canned tuna. And it has a total of 35 grams of protein. And it cost me only €1.39. For the next thing on our list, we have this bad boy. And if I'm showing you this, I am showing this only to the people who are bulking. For the people who want to cut and lose weight, this is probably not the protein source you want to have. This is peanut butter. And peanut butter is surprisingly very cheap and also not that unhealthy if you compare it to things like Nutella or some. This jar cost me about €1.99, so €2. And it has a whole of 74 grams of protein in this whole jar. And it also has a lot of calories and it's easy to consume. So if you're buying one of these, maybe look out that it doesn't have too much sugar, but the protein and the calories should always be about the same, which is good for bulking and just bodybuilding, right? Now we have the next and also the last dairy product on our list. This is curd, 500 grams of low-fat curd. And this little tub, it only has It has a lot of protein. It has 60 grams of protein. Well, if I had to choose between Skyr and curd, low-fat curd, I'd definitely go for the Skyr because it just tastes better, and this curd, it does not taste good, trust me, if you have not ever eaten it. But I guess you can still get it down raw. And by the way, the cost of this thing is the same as the Skyr one. For me, at least in my supermarket, it cost me €1.50. Now, this one. This is whey protein. And whey protein comes in a lot of different flavors, prices, lots of different brands, lots of different supplements, lots of different types, whey protein, whey isolate and all that. This is the classic one, the whey protein, not casein, not isolate, whatever. And in this tub we have about 1 pound, which is 900 grams. And one serving is 30 grams. And in this serving of 30 grams, we have 23 grams of protein. And if you calculate it down, the price for one serving, so for 23 grams, is €1.39, which is more expensive, lots of more expensive, of course, compared to the Skyr or to the curd. But at the same time, it's also just, it probably tastes better and it's easier to consume because you can also mix it in your breakfast with your oats, or you can also just drink it in a shake, of course. By the way, on the side, if you want a super anabolic breakfast, which is incredibly easy to make, good for lazy people like me, I'm a lazy person, you use your oats, you use your peanut butter, your whey, and your milk, or your milk alternative. Also, you can also use lactose-free milk, of course. And if you mix it all together, you can get lots of calories if you're bulking, and you can also get lots of protein just in one simple meal. And all you need to do is put it all in one bowl and stir it. That's all. So I love it. Last but not least, a super popular vegan option. This is chickpeas. And chickpeas, they are super cheap, and they have, on 100 grams, they have 18.6 grams of protein. So this thing, those 500 grams, they have 93 grams of protein for only €1.45. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. As you can see, I already moved the curd, the Skyr and the chicken back in the fridge. I don't want it to go bad. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you found it helpful, consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you in the next one.